Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Bad Man Show. Overseer Rupert, Elder Mark, how are you two gentlemen doing?
I'm doing great because I'm not holding everybody up today. I'm on the top of the screen today.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Hey, Bishop, it
Oh,
sounds a little salty from last week. I mean, come on.
Yes, that's what I'm dealing with.
well,
I'm so
somebody got
glad.
the power. Somebody got the power.
It's,
Somebody has the power today.
I tell you, I
Hey,
tell you.
hey, I'm so delighted to have each one. So how are things going on your side, Elder Mark?
Everything is great, enjoying this beautiful weather. The day before spring, what more can you ask for, man? This is awesome.
Good, good. Overseer yourself. How was ministry on yesterday?
It was wonderful. Service was wonderful. My sister, my other sister, 2 weeks ago, my older sister spoke. Awesome message. Last week, this week, my younger sister, well, my older sister, the younger of the two, she spoke. Awesome message. Man, they made my daddy and they made their mommy proud, their daddy and their mommy proud yesterday. I tell you, those 2 weeks, it was awesome. Awesome messages. So God is
Bless
good.
him.
Well, how
Bless
about
him.
you, Bishop? How's
Amen.
Yeah,
everything
we,
going on
we
your
we
sir?
had a good day. We had a really, really good day. We thank God
Mhm.
for his blessings. We thank God for just it's all just an awesome experience that, coming out of the COVID pandemic and moving forward and just anticipating all that God is doing. It is a tremendous blessing. Well,
Amen.
gentlemen, let's get right to it. We have a great guest that is going to be sharing with us, Dr. Evelyn Richardson. She is the CEO of Give Back Jamaica,
All
doing a
right.
tremendous work in Jamaica, and we want to bring her on. She is also the CEO of the Caribbean Radio Show. And so
Wow.
we got a treat this evening, and we're looking forward for a fantastic and exciting, moving show on this evening with Dr. Evelyn Richards. Dr. Evelyn Richards, thank you for accepting this invitation to come on and be with three bad men. Uh,
Amen. For Christ. For
uh,
Christ. Three bad men for Christ. Just want to add that in there.
okay, overseer, emphasize it. And so, Dr. Evan, would you, if you don't mind, would you please just take a minute and just greet our guests and greet our audience?
So I just get the opportunity, dream come true. Thank you guys for inviting me in. I'm just so excited.
We are excited also. Could you say it again, Dr. Ed? Because Bishop, I don't think he heard you. You were speaking as you were speaking. So if you can give this the introduction again so that our audience can hear it, because we were excited. See, we're too excited to have you on. So we're speaking and just excited. So if you could just give the introduction again, it'd be great.
Well, what I was saying that I am really, really excited to be among bad boys. And three of them are good.
Oh,
See,
Among bad
bad
boys,
boys.
skin in the game.
you see,
Oh,
Bishop.
my dream has come true. So thank you guys.
well, I guess we don't got to tell everybody that you're from Jamaica anymore. You're Jamaica. You're from because you said the bad boys to the reggae boys. So it's the same. But we are so glad to have you on and to share with us on tonight. Now, everybody, before we get started, first again, we want to welcome everybody to our Bad Men show. We also want to let you know it's a little bit of different format tonight because we've not tried this before. So we're bringing Dr. Ev through. I believe she's based on the East Coast in Virginia, I think it is, but we're bringing her through Zoom because sometimes we lose connection because he's a very busy person. So we're bringing her through Zoom into our streaming
Streaming.
platform. So if there's any difficulties, we'll fix it. Just bear with us. But we're trying this for the first time. It looks good so far. We hear her great so far. So we are excited to have you. So Dr. Ev, if you, and I'm doing this our first question to you tonight, if you can just give us a quick 2-minute bio of you so people can know who you are, where your background a little bit, and kind of what you are doing right now.
Wow. Okay. Thanks for the opportunity. Well, quick little bio of me. a barefoot little girl in Kent Village, Bob Walk Road,
Woo!
selling on the roadside ackee, banana, every single thing you can think about, dreaming one day of being a doctor and helping another little girl selling some banana and mangoes on the Bob Walk Road to do just the same.
Oh my
That's
Lord.
basically me in a nutshell there.
Wow, wow. Mark, now Mark, you got all that, Mark? You got all that?
I did. I got all that. And that's amazing. Truly amazing.
Just making sure. Because
So,
when you get the Aki and stuff, I thought I might have lost you there for a second. Just
so,
Oh,
so
you got me,
Dr.
but I'll catch on eventually.
Oh wow, wow, wow. So Dr. Ev, so walk us through a little bit of how you became the CEO of the Give Back Jamaica and also the Caribbean Radio Show.
Of course, being a Jamaican and with the ray of cold water running through my vein and all of those lava, mosquito water running through my vein, the little girl had some great big dreams. And like many Jamaicans, you have great dreams. And I followed them through. I have grown up with my parents being the giver. We had a little one bedroom, 8 by 10 little room, and we did our little farming. And basically, the stuff that we farmed, the good ones, the 12 hand, not the Lackaton, the other pretty one, the Gross Mitchell banana, those beautiful ones. My mom always gave it away to someone. So I learned that from a young age. That one of these fine days, there is a lot that I have to repay. And part of that repayment is forming an organization that we now call Give Back Jamaica, and also having the media in which we can get the message out, and that is CRS Radio, Caribbean Radio Show. So the background of how these things started is the fact of I wouldn't call her poor, I would call her the genius mom of and the family I grew up in, giving forward. And I just think that's a responsibility of me getting to the point where I'm able to give back. And through these two entities, I'm able to really replicate what my parents did.
Thank you for that. That was beautiful. Thank you for. While you're there, could you speak a little bit about the Bellyfold project as well, so that we kind of get at least a scope of what the different activities and projects that you're involved with, and also the shoe program. Those are two additional projects I know you have.
I'm glad that you brought that up. Okay, most of these programs that we have is part of my experience in life. Going to school in those days, I won't reveal my wonderful age, but I usually have to go to school barefooted. At the time, we call it back in Jamaica. Like, you guys are not Jamaican, you guys are foreigner. We call you would see someone going barefoot, and you call them, your big ground thunder. I don't know if you guys know about that. But all of us at that time normally have. Your parents couldn't afford shoes. And most of us went to school barefooted. And I thought about that so much. All of us, no matter if you're rich or you're poor, when it comes to shoe, you have a specific story. And if we should turn this question are true stories. You can remember certain specific stories about your shoes. Either your shoes are burn you, your shoes too small, it's too big, you have to stuff it with newspaper. And if some of you are of a certain age, you remember this Tarzan and the sun flash. When you have a Tarzan on and the sun really burning in them shoes, there, boy, it's like you're in the Ryakova River. So these programs brought me back to really thought about how important shoe is to children. And so hence the shoe program was started. The Bellyful program, again, was a part of my experience. My mom usually sell at the school gate that I went to school. Sock, share ice, and mash biscuit, cupcakes, and Greta cake, and all of those stuff. That's how my mother was able to finance us going to school and take care of our family. So part of that, a lot of times, if we didn't get, we usually say at those times, the poorhouse, the government house, they usually give out some bulgur wheat and cornmeal and some soybean oil. And that's what we usually survive on. Sometimes the cornmeal was full of weevil. If you get a little rice, all of that, because they were stored so long. So all of that caused certain amount of pain, hunger pain. A lot of times people say they're hungry and they really never felt what hungry was like. So sometimes going to school, all you had was a little bush deal, one little piece of bread. And that had to keep you till lunchtime. Lunchtime, you get some food from the canteen, which is usually some bulgur dumpling. And if it is Friday, you get some fried dumpling and chicken back and some milk powder. Milk powder. I don't know if you remember getting some milk powder and what that means after you don't drink the milk powder. But that's how, and I remember even just going to school, especially Friday when you have the fried dumpling and the chicken back, you want to make sure you go to school because that's the time you really get some little sweet mouth, as them call it. The older people them call it sweet mouth. So I thought about that too and how important that was for a child to have something in their stomach while they're trying the brain to learn something well. So this is how the Bellyful program started out.
Amen. And so to answer some questions about people just coming on and that are watching. Today we have Dr. Evelyn Richardson of Give Back Jamaica and also of the Caribbean Radio Show. She's the CEO. And today our discussion is just to get to know a little bit about these different ventures that she's taking on. And also, especially with Give Back Jamaica, there's a lot of Jamaicans that we're associated with. A lot of people just want to be able to give. So maybe they can hear the story and we can help give back to Jamaica and give back to some of the things. She was just talking about the shoe program that's there. We heard about that program last year, I believe, from Mr. Holton Brown, who was on the Caribbean Radio Show. He's also was part of that. And he talked a little bit about that. So if you're watching, please, if you have any questions about how to give or her background she's giving to us right now, please share with the questions. They're live. We can see your comments and questions in our chat, and we will post them as we get them. So I don't know, Dr. F, if Bishop Brown gave me the skinny. I'm not going to try to speak my Jamaican because they're going to make fun of me back home, but I am Jamaican born. Came here when I was 2 years old. My mom is from Manchester. My daddy is from St. Anne. So you've got a Jamaican kid here. Bishop Brown, he can give his history. The only Yankee we have online right now is right above us is that Mark Brodus guy. He's the Yankee. But you got two Jamaicans here. You got one real Jamaican. You got a guy who's kind of Jamaican, and you got a non-Jamaican. So you got the kind of the gambit all the way through. If I could ask you a question, though, Dr. F, when it came to the shoe program, we kind of hear the history of why you want to do it, but how difficult was it to kind of get it started? Because it's not always easy to get kind of things like this started. What kind of barriers did you hit to get this shoe program started?
Well, that is such a very, very good question. Any kind, when it comes, and I'm going to, well, when it comes on to nonprofit organization, a lot of folks have these really wonderful ideas to give forward. And once you start getting in the program and you start understanding the time and the effort and the money that's involved, you start reaching out. Well, you start from your own pocket a lot of times, and a lot of times you have to be supporting this venture for a very long time, of which I'm still doing on an individual basis. But you start reaching out to friends and family. If you have a really strong social media platform, you reach out to them. Luckily, we have also the Caribbean Radio Show, so we can go on the radio and pull out our program as often talk about our platform for giving back Jamaica as much as we can. We also have a website, which is also givebackjamaica.com, givebackjamaica.org. We have several other social media places, Twitter, Instagram, and all of that kind of thing. And we reach out through these areas. Difficulty, it is absolutely extremely difficult. Unfortunately, when it gets to our Jamaican community, it is a very, very difficult area or group of folks to really get funds from. And sometimes I understand it a bit because we're not very trusting, and we've had situations on many occasions where things are not as transparent as they should be. So we really find it difficult to get the funds for our program. Right now, we're looking at a program for this year, 10,000 pairs of shoes, because one of our motto, in particular this year, we wanted to say no child should be left without a pair of shoes in the ranks because they don't have a pair of shoes to attend school.
Wow.
And we have so many, I was looking in the post we had the other day, and the lady was saying, hey, nobody in Jamaica going to school barefoot anymore. I would like, looking at the post, I would like to say, lady, come with me. Let me really show you really how barefooted kids are. We have a story. I hope I can get a minute to share this. A little young man, and I hope that your listeners could go on our page and saw the shoes that Ricardo, we have a young man called Ricardo, and I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Gary. I think that he's an angel beyond angel, if there is such a thing. Gary, we had a pair of shoes given to this young man last year. He got passed to go to Kingston College. And for those who are familiar with the school, this is a very prestigious school in Jamaica. And this young man was going to high school literally without any shoes bottom, as we call it. Put piece of cardboard in his shoe. And that is what this young man, when you be 13 and 14, you know, the world start changing for a young child. You're growing up, you know, all kind of, you know, seeing girls or girls seeing you, you kind of have these emotional swings back and forth. And for you not to have a pair of shoes going to a high school, that has to be traumatizing.
Right.
But more than all, what we look at is for this young guy or young man, we have to invest in him because it takes strength for a young child to be going to school literally barefooted. And this is when we went out. Gary went and found the parents. He literally was living with the grandparents, and we got him shoes. Now today, he literally has three fathers because there was somebody else who eventually got to him from Gary, and now he has money to go to school, and he has more than pairs of shoes. And this is some of the power of Give Back Jamaica. It is also gives me in particular the strength. It empowers me to move forward, to know that there are people in our community who reaches out, finds a way, every possible way, to help that other child in Jamaica. Just like somebody helped me as a little barefoot girl, just like somebody who helped me when I was selling mango and ackee on the Boardwalk Road, and somebody come and give me an extra $1 or $2 in order to help me to get some lunch money. And this is why our program is so powerful. But unfortunately, we are not getting the responses. We are not getting the contribution that we need to reach more people in our country. And I'm so happy that you have invited me here. And I'm hoping that all of your listeners, just listening to this broadcast, whether it be in podcast or live, will be able to join in partnership with us and reach out to our country. The things that are going on in our country, it is because some of the time we don't have the resources. And if we just put a little bit, give forward a little bit in terms of even giving back a pair of shoes. And I know a lot of people out there are doing great things, but I think these things like a pair of shoes, giving a couple of dollars for our Bellyful program, which is the lunch program and the breakfast program, it will go more than a long way. We can change Jamaica, just like it changed to me, make me into a productive citizen. I want to think that I am, but more than anything else, it makes me want to dedicate my life to give forward to the next girl who want to strive to do something else other than selling mangoes. Of course, great things, and not belittling selling mangoes, but sometimes you want to do a little bit more than that too. And
So,
you
Dr.
need-
Ev, so I want to jump in here. So, as far as the you said that folks reaching out to contribute, the program, has it been publicized across the island? Does the government know anything to the extent that your organization is working in these efforts?
Well, as citizens, government does their work. Citizens have their work to do. We're not relying on government. We're relying on community and grassroots work to do our
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
If government was interested in giving shoes to kids, they would have been doing it a long time ago. So government does what they do. Citizens do what we do. Just like
Right.
in this organization, in this country, the United States, citizens is what reach out to the grassroots and provide for each other. And that's the first line of defense, each other. Me and you, and then it kind of goes out into communities, organized communities such as churches and other such
Okay.
organizations.
So the churches are involved then, to at least to some extent, because you are talking to both overseer myself and Mark. We're very involved in ministries, and I'm glad to hear you say, as far as a community, it extends to actually ministries as well. So this program draws a lot of from the audience that are within the church community. So as what you're sharing with us is resonated to some extent with our audience.
Yeah, and Dr. Evans, it's funny because it's not, and I hope the people that are maybe non-Jamaicans don't think that they can't help, because of course you can help, but even just listen to Dr. Ev, because you may want to start something from where you're naturally from, whether it's from Haiti, or if it's any other Caribbean island, or if it's from Africa, or even from your local area in your town, because you might be surprised what activities not being taught or told about, that kids need your help. Kids needing books to go to school, kids needing backpacks to go to school. Sometimes, you don't hear about these things because you're not deeply involved. And Mark, I know you can speak, or I don't know if you can speak to this, but, a lot of times you don't see, right, what really is going on. I mean, Dr. Ed was talking about, hey, people said that every Jamaican has, shoes. Every kid has shoes. And she can say, no, that's not true. So, Mark, I know you probably have the same kind of thing where, people think there's something going on for everybody, but being in church and being in ministry, I know you guys had a great men's program. People don't see those things, right?
That's correct. And, when you were speaking, one thing that's coming to mind, because when you think of Jamaica, you think of the big, beautiful island and everything is all good.
Hold on. Folks are talking. Hold on. Dr. F, hold on. Let's Mark go, then you can go, Dr. F. Thank you. Hold on one second. Go ahead, Mark.
So when you think of Jamaica, you think of the big, beautiful island where nothing goes wrong and everybody has everything. But to hear what she's saying, it really sheds light onto the situation. And the question I had for her, you see a lot of the commercials where you're able to sponsor a child. Do they do something like that within their program?
Go ahead, Dr.
Somebody would have to interpret that for me, because I'm not able to hear him.
Oh, he was asking, Mark was asking if you have a sponsor program. So a certain child, that they can sponsor that child specifically, or maybe sponsor children. Is there a program like that? Or is everything just donation and then you guys just share it amongst everybody?
All right. Thank you so much for that, Mark. Thank you so much. Before I answer a question, we talk about support and donation. Surprisingly, our support, about 75% of the support we get comes from non-Jamaican.
Wow.
So our biggest supporters are folks who have never been to Jamaica, or friends of friends of friends.
Wow.
Who hear about Jamaica, like Jamaica, and who are just passionate helpers otherwise. There are folks who have never been to Jamaica who have helped us create fundraising efforts. A little bit more than 75% of contribution are non-Jamaican. So I want to give out shout out to all my non-Jamaican folks. And hopefully, because here's the thing about Giving for Me. It has different levels. When we talk about community, and you can go up to your community as a person who has grown up in the community and pay it forward. And we were talking about government just now, and government involvement. Government don't get involved in this kind of an intimate community thing. your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, all of us get together as a village and support each other. We would have loved to share. Let me tell you something. It's almost bringing tears to me right now when we talk about Ricardo. I mean, Ricardo and Gary going and putting on a pair of shoes onto a child's foot. Gary don't know Ricardo. We have no connection with this little kid other than to know that he is in need. And we are there reaching out and touching this child and changing this child's trajectory. Because Gary, who, when we met him, was a shy little boy who lives in a house that literally had no door, who is now trying to vie for a place on the national team in football and tennis.
Wow.
A pair of shoes, gave him the confidence. A pair of shoes that led him to three persons that is now by his side to encourage him. A pair of shoes that led a child to be less desperate. That is the power of community. That is the power of caring. Now, if I could get, like me, a little barefoot girl who had to climb every starapper tree and every mango tree to juke off some coat. The only tree I don't master was a coconut tree. But I had to climb every tree to juke off this, to get this fruit, every starapper tree to sell on the street and go to the river and, catch jungle fish and catch all your perch and your shrimp. That's how we lived. That's how we supported ourselves. But within that, it's not that a lot of people, Jamaican, tell me which Jamaican is not the smartest person you ever come across. We have traversed the entire universe and we changed the world. But there is, sometimes I say, you think Usain Bolt can really bolt? There is so many other kids in Jamaica that is faster than Bolt. But we don't have any resources to bring out that brilliance. So when you have a pair of shoes, when you have somebody from who don't know you who can touch your life, then this is when we start to create a nation. This is when we truly start to me, and forgive me, do God's work. When we start touching each other on these depths. Not the superficial thing. When we at Give Back Jamaica give a child a pair of shoes, we don't give a child a pair of shoes out of the box. We take the shoes, we sit the child down, we touch them, we talk to them, we make sure that the foot goes into the shoe and fit it properly. We also tell them what size their shoe is, because believe it or not, when you're not used to having shoes, you don't know the size of the shoes. And that is so important. People who don't have shoes, somebody gives them a piece of shoe. Try and see if this piece of shoes will fit you.
So
I wear size 7 shoes. I know I wear a size 7. No, it's a whole different world. So as simple as that act is, to sit a child, sit them down, and fit a pair of shoes. And this may sound strange to some of your listeners. We have had so many children run away with the shoe, literally get up and run off once they've fitted a pair of shoes. It's like they're telling us, hey, this shoe fit me, and I'm taking this, you're not going to get it back.
Yes, yeah.
I am telling you,
Yes,
for real.
Yeah, Doc.
It may sound funny.
Yeah, no, Doc, we believe it.
Yeah.
Could you quickly, before Bishop goes, could you quickly just respond to Mark's question? Though I think it's important that can you donate to a specific child?
Yes. Sorry, Mark. Sorry. You know, sometimes I get emotional. I get carried away.
It's all good.
Yes, we have several programs. Several programs. We have sponsored child program. So for those of you who are non-American, we don't have the yellow bus system that come and pick up your child at school. So if mama don't have the money to send you on the bus or the taxi to school, you can't go to school if you can't walk. So we have sponsorship, individuals sponsoring a child program. And those we always focus on money for lunch money and money for transportation and a little sundry, like if they need little books and uniform and so on, a little extra for that as well. We have our Belly Food program that we mentioned. We have our scholarship program. We have individuals who may have a mom that may have passed and they want to honor them. So we can do a scholarship in a family name or to your company as well. We have a few churches that the churches decide they are going to be donating on behalf of their church. So they have a particular ministry and they sponsor this child or they sponsor a scholarship. We have a chicken farm where we provide, they would have a coop and we would provide the chickens to help with the school lunch, and sometimes they have a little bit to sell as well. We also have another special program that is dear to my heart. We call it Christmas in November. As a little child growing up, I never had knife and fork and stained glass and what we call crockery at that time. And it was a joy sometime when Christmas come and in my time, and you get one whole of drinks. We call it drinks. You call it soda pop or whatever you call it now. But we call it drinks, and you get that bottle and you start to drink out of a drink bottle at that time. It is just the most wonderful thing in the world. So what we do, we have a class, or this year we did Ginger Ridge Primary School, and we were able to dine, I call it exquisite dining, the entire school, where we have them served. We have no plastic, nothing. They had 10 glasses, and we had the food catered and served. I just think this helped to lift the spirit of the kids and just take them to another level of experience. We also have photographs of these on our Give Back Jamaica website. Please take a look and see how the children holding their STEM glasses and making a toast. This is just one of those things also that just really makes my heart just go beep, 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 even a little faster. So there are so many programs. We have also the Girls IG program where we have, girls stuff. So we try to have that for the schools, also for the young girls, little deodorant and sanitary pads, etc., and stuff like that.
So Dr. Ed,
we try to create, what we're working on right now is a dental program. We're coordinating our partner with a dentist in Jamaica. We have the proposal, and we would like to go into individual schools and do, have the dentist go do their examination. And if there are cases beyond the normal cleaning and, taking care of, we refer them to other partner dentists as well. This is a program we would love to get off the ground, but as you can hear, and if you can hear about dentists and professionals, it does take money. We are a 501c3 organization, means that we're federally registered and means that donations are tax deductible, which is a wonderful thing. We just need to get the manpower and settle down to start getting some grants and pursue some bigger organization. Hopefully, with our manpower, we'll be able to expand on that basis to include so many other programs. We have a book bag program. We have a uniform program as well.
Dr. F, Dr. F, I know you're a radio personality because you definitely know how to hold a conversation. But I gotta cut it here because, you know, we can always have you back, but we have our audience and some have some questions. And there's one thing that I wanted to ask you before you go off, but we just want to take just a minute to just greet our audience, overseer, let them know what we have available that they can get from our merchandise to support our Bad Man Show.
Yeah, so everybody, once again, we thank everybody for joining our Bad Man Show. Again, you can give your live question and comments, and we do have a question that we're going to get to. But the Bad Man Show, we're asking you to help us out. Buy our merchandise so you can help support this great work. Maybe if you help us out, what we'll do is maybe we'll sponsor a child for the Give Back Jamaica, and the Bad Man Show will sponsor a child. That might be the way, but we need you to help us sponsor that child. So we have merchandise for you to purchase: mugs, cups, hats. We have jerseys and T-shirts and hoodies. So we're looking for you to do that. You can Zelle to 908-821-6504. If you Zelle the money to that, we will make sure we ship it out to you again within a couple of days. So we appreciate you. We also want to say thank you to our producers.
Yeah, Brother Ken, amen. Yes, Ken and Albert. So we want to say thank you so much. Not only we also have Sean Gore and Peter Boynton. And we're still looking for interns. So if you would like to join us and be a part of the Bad Man Show, just reach out to us by going to the Badman for Christ at gmail.com and just send us an email to let us know. Yes.
So we're going to bring back Dr. Evan, Dr. Ev. So not only do you do the Give Back Jamaica, you also do a couple.
She's not in yet. Yeah, there she is. Yes.
Oh, she can hear
she's
me
in now.
There she is.
Yeah.
So we know you do other things other than just Give Back Jamaica. You also do the Caribbean radio show. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How that functions? Is that something that you can get here in America also? How does that work? What about that? What made you kind of get involved with the radio?
Wow. I'm here laughing when I hear you talk about the bad man all the while. I'm just here just grinning from ear to ear. I just say, hey, you need a couple of bad girls.
well, you do see my wife. You can't see my wife, but my wife is there. She's a bad lady, so she's a bad lady right there. That lady right there. So.
Yeah, the bad ladies are powerful,
Amen. Yes, ma'am. Amen.
As I said, Caribbean Radio Show, we started about 16 years ago when the internet was just a little baby then. And the reason why we started out as Caribbean person, when you get into this country, is a whole different cultural shock for a lot of us. Depends on when you get here. So connecting to voice and stories and music was a way of keeping you connected to who you are, to the core. So the Caribbean Radio Show was born for that time to give us a voice. We know we probably won't be able to get on CNN with our issues. So we were so happy, and it is a blessing. Just listen to you, bad guys, having your own program, we are able to come together, laugh together, talk about our own story and our history. This is absolutely so powerful.
Thank you.
When you can gather your people together and you can speak the same languages they are, and not only that, when you want to send the message out. So this is how Caribbean Radio Show, the concept of her being born and giving the voice of our, in particular, Jamaican population, but we do at one stage, right now we have even shows out of Israel. CRS Radio, Caribbean Radio Show, we have over 17 hosts. We do show from yay to day. We bring different issues from health to music to, as I say, even many foreign countries that we have shows from as well. From Africa, we have shows from Africa, for the rest of the Caribbean, out to Jamaica. We have shows out of Israel. We have shows out of Italy.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we try to get information and cross culture, and as our slogan is CRS Radio, the knowledge station. So we
Okay.
try to weaving this knowledge culturally and otherwise, and just try to get people together. And this supports our main core, our giving back.
So, Overseer, I've heard to address Bruce Watson's question, please.
Let me throw this in there. So here's a question: as a church organization or from the individual churches from the United Church of Jesus Christ, are we donating to this way? Or I guess the question for us, really, I think Bruce wants to know if the United Churches of Jesus Christ are donating to this type of work or any other work like this, like we do to Liberia. I gave him a kind of a pseudo answer in the system. I said, we do some support of some other countries, including Jamaica and Haiti, along with Liberia. We do support that. Also, there's individuals that sometimes have touch bases, like in Kenya. So there's individuals in the UCJC churches that have done this. There's also individuals in the UCJC church that have done Uganda. Like, I don't know if you ever saw the shows that we had, Mission is Possible. So we've got Pastor Pauline Ralston, one of our show producers, Albert Minor. They do Uganda along with Liberia and some other countries. I forget. I think I want to say Tanzania, but maybe I'll say Tanzania. But they do a chicken farm too. So like the chicken farm that Jamaica does, they do one there in Uganda. So we do have those things going on, Bruce. But on this case, if you want to support one of these works, you can reach out to myself, or you can reach out to Albert Minor, one of our producers. I think Albert. He can let you know about what missions they're working on. You can talk to us. We'll put you in contact with Dr. Ev for this work or works like this. Also, we have Bishop Brown's brother is also involved in these things, so we can get you someone if you want to. Well, I already know you, Bruce, and your wife, so I know you guys already do a lot of stuff. But if you want to do other stuff, please let us know. We'll be glad to get that information out. You see in our little ticker for more information. You can go to givebackjamaica.com,
right,
and you can get information on there. Doc, we only have about 1 minute left before we're going to let you go. We know you're a busy person, so real quickly, if there's any information you want to give us about,
but Overseer, just before she do that, I just wanted if she could just take a minute. A lot of folks do not know this, but she has also worked along with FEMA. So we're talking about someone who is very, very, very intellectual here. Yes, from Jamaica all the way to have worked with FEMA for more than 10 years. Could you just give us just a little taste, not too much, a minute or so, just to put some perspective so that you have a scope of reaching out to people that are in need?
Well, as I said, this little barefoot girl, and I love that badge because that means a lot to me. Who kind of struggle, and it's a struggle, but gives thanks for strength and mercies. Did radiology. I've been out of the hospital for a while. Now go into disaster management. That's what I do right now. Into the charities. So they when you look at poverty on one hand, I shouldn't be where I shouldn't have a doctor behind my name. And this is when I reach out to my folks in the diaspora and said, you don't know the power of giving the $20 to buy a pair of shoes for a little girl. That little barefoot girl is me. That little barefoot girl has been honored through the struggle, even to be in the White House to give a speech. The little Jamaican barefoot girl, she has been through so many places because somebody had reached out to her. And it is my obligation for the rest of my life and always living every single day to give forward back to Jamaica. I mean, in particular, Jamaica, because Jamaica, the reason why I am here speaking to you is because I'm a Jamaican. The reason why I'm here speaking to you is because the struggles that I have overcome, and I've overcome all of those, and I don't think I could do it otherwise if I wasn't born in the place you call Jamaica, under and around the circumstances. I want you to reach out, give me a moment to just reach out to my president, Mr. Oakton Brown. One of the strengths and the glue to our organization for these many years. And Oakton goes down to Jamaica, and every time we have a presentation to make, he is always there to make sure we hand over everything to where it's supposed to be, to the student or on the student feet, if it's shoe, and if it's chicken, in the coop where they should be. So we take whatever we're doing and take it straight to exactly where it's supposed to be. I want to reach out to him, my thoughts together. Wherever he is, he's in Jamaica right now, doing the work along with other things. I want to also reach out to Mr. Terry Reid, who is constantly always there with me, and all my other board members. You know, for the interest of time, I can't just call all of your names, but you guys know the passion I have for you. You guys know that without you guys, this all would not be possible. I want to also reach out to your audience and just say, hey, come on with us and feel the joy and the miracle that you are able to do when a little child look on you and either run away with a pair of new shoes or say, thank you, thank you. That means more than thank you. It means their lives and their family lives is about to take another turn.
All right.
Bad boys so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ev. We truly appreciate you. And this kind of put the we now have not only that we have Mr. Oakton Brown that came on in and began this conversation, but we have the COE, Dr. Evelyn Richardson, that came on in and really put the package, make it a complete package, and we truly appreciate you. We want to make you want to say to you that if you are doing something special, if there's some activity, please reach out to us, and we will definitely have you to come back on and share with our audience. And we are also looking forward to be a part of the Caribbean radio show in sometime in the future. All these bad men will love to join the Caribbean radio show.
I said, let's just go there.
Really thank you for being here with us. Overseer? I go ahead, Mark. I think he's
No, I was saying instead of just joining, why don't we just go to the Caribbean? I'm all for that. Do the show from there.
Overseer, you're muted.
Yeah, so well, I wanted to talk to Doc on the Zoom. So I'm gonna let you guys talk about the one thing I want to talk about, and that she talked so tremendously about, was the 75% of those helping are non-Jamaicans. So I'm talking to my Jamaican people right now. Those that were born in Jamaica, second generation Jamaicans. That's a huge number. You know, we need to do better. You talk to a lot of other countries. Liberians give back to Liberians. Chinese give back to the Chinese. The English give back to the English, right? And we as Jamaicans, we need to see this, see what it's for, and try to help in any way we possibly can. You don't got to give $1,000 every week. You know, if you give $10 a month, you've done great. So a lot of us have done very well in this country, have been benefited very well in this country. Let's look back, because some of us do remember. I know I talk to friends of mine who grew up in Jamaica, and they talk about not having shoes to go to school, or having one pair for school and one pair for church. And now they're here. You look at their closets are full of shoes, full of clothes. Right. So let's not forget our people. But there's so much to talk about that she said. But I'll let you guys talk while I just talk.
Well, I truly appreciate the fact that she was able to come on, and I thank Mark. As I was saying, I really thank. The format was a little bit different because we really wanted to give her time, so for her to share. At least I wanted that, for her to share the different programs that she has going, the different activities, and for the audience to hear her passion. You know, the passion that she has in giving back, speaking to the challenges that she faced. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I thought it was interesting because, you know, not being Jamaican, not knowing there was some of the difficulties that was faced on the island, and like I said, from the perception, you think everything is going great, but to see that really was eye-opening. And that program I think she has is awesome.
Yes, Yes, I absolutely agree. I was down in Jamaica in just this past February, and I hooked up with Mr. Upton Brown, and he was actually showing me one of the communities that they serve, and that community was basically existed adjacent to a dump. A dump, yes. And that's how that community actually survived, because they were able to get things from the dump and so forth. And they went in, when she talked about having the belly full or the meals program, they went in on Christmas in November and had all the students of that high school, where they served them a full course meal, 4 courses. Wow. Can you just imagine how the self-esteem, or how that really impact the children, rather?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I want to speak to when she talked about the young man having confidence. I don't think he's going to have confidence. He's going to know that people care, but also if he gets into the position one day where he can give back, it's already on his heart. It's not even have to be talked about to him. He's already going to have it on his heart to do that. So when you help somebody, you're keeping the generational giving going, because that person that gets help will definitely help somebody and return that favor and give back.
Yes. Well, gentlemen, we're out of time. Yes, another great show. I'm getting excited. I'm thanking Mark for coming to join us. I think the conversation went very smoothly, Overseer.
Yes.
Your thoughts as you kind of just wrap us up and send us out here. Again, it was a wonderful time. To our audience, again, remember, please join us every Monday, 7:15 to 8:15, where the bad men comes together. God bless you. We love you, and we see you again next week.